Welcome back From the South. The release of the Puerto Rican Belén Montes after more than 20 years of prison in the United States has been trending in social media. She was arrested for allegedly passing intelligence information to Cuba regarding the U.S. plans of aggression against the island. A correspondent in Havana, Fabiola López, with the details.
Who in the last 60 years has asked the Cuban people if they want the United States to impose a suffocating embargo that makes them suffer? Asked Belén Montes in her first written statements about her arrival in Puerto Rico after serving 21 years in prison for allegedly providing Cuba with warnings of U.S. military plans. In the social networks, there have been many expressions of gratitude for this selfless attitude. Upon her release from prison, she warned in a message that she, as a person, was irrelevant and that she would not participate in any media activity, asking instead that the focus be placed on Cuba, the serious problems of Puerto Rico and the environment.
From Miami, we have welcomed with great delight the release of Belén Montes for her contributions to Cuba, to her people, and also to other peoples of the world. As always, here are trying to dismiss the revolutionary work of this great heroic woman who has been in jail for more than 20 years, and the first thing she has done after arriving in Puerto Rico is to ask the United States to remove the blockade of Cuba and to have normal relations with the island.
For 17 years, Belén Montes, a former senior analyst for the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, provided allegedly secret information to the Cuban government. She was sentenced to 25 years in prison for conspiracy to commit espionage. Before the court, she said she believed that the whole world is one country, confessed that she obeyed her conscience more than the law, and so she felt morally obliged to help Cuba defend itself against U.S. efforts to force its value and political system on it.
Anna, during all these years, has become a great reference for all of us. A reference for peace, for friendship among peoples, for respect, for human dignity. If the world were a different world, Anna should have received medals instead of those 22 years of unjust prison in terrible conditions of detention. However, coming from the United States, nothing surprises.
The Queen of Cuba, as Belén was nicknamed in U.S. military intelligence for her knowledge of the island, was locked up in the Center for People with Mental Problems and subjected to an extreme isolation regime. She could not interact with any detainee, nor talk on the phone, nor receive newspapers, nor watch television. No one could ask about her health. The head of the diplomatic mission of Puerto Rico in Cuba tells teleSUR that it's the right of Boricuas to have relations with the island and defend it.
A great victory to begin with. I think it means a lot to the solidarity between Puerto Rico and Cuba, and Belén represents that, what a Boricua has done to support and defend Cuba. That is where the main happiness is, that she comes out the same way she came in, the same way we see. Less than 24 hours after leaving, she keeps the same expressions as when she came in regarding Cuba, regarding the concern towards Puerto Rico and other things. I think that is where the value of the facts is, like the fulfilled duty.
There are many who feel respect and admiration for this woman who never received money from Cuba and only acted out of ethics and a sense of justice. Fidel Castro was one of them. He responded to a question from U.S. journalist Andrea Michel. He referred to Belén in December 2002.
A noble and good American person who is against an injustice, against a blockade of more than 40 years, against all the terrorist acts that were committed against Cuba, and is capable of reacting in this way, is an exceptional person. She's a person who, given this attitude, and not simply out of gratitude, but out of sense of justice, deserves respect and admiration.
Belén said before hearing her sentence that her greatest wish was to see the beginning of a friendly relationship between Cuba and the United States.
Fabiola López, teleSUR, La Habana.